Hello, beautiful Pisces. This is Marianne from Marianne's Mystic Mentions, and I'm here to read your August mid-month reading for 2025. And yes, last but certainly not least, they are a little later. I don't normally do the mid-months. However, I've had many transitions happening in my life, all that I think are incredibly wonderful and necessary, and that I had actually manifested and asked for, but it had to be patient, right? And so in having that happen, I have new schedules, and I'm working around that, and I'm thinking, and I'm going to come up with just exactly the right way to do my readings for all the signs. And I have a really good idea, and I've mentioned it a couple times, but I won't belabor it at this moment because I just want to focus on you, Pisces. I always have a conversation with every sign before I do the reading, and I like to tune into your energy, basically. And as soon as I did, like just the moment I said Pisces, it was the color. These gloves that I wear now as my brand that people have seen and thought, what's that about? It's about energy. It's about the correlation of energy and vibration, and which everything is, but specifically correlating and relating to our chakras, which are the energy centers, once again, energy within our bodies. And so this is the correlating color to the third eye, and it's a lighter, beautiful pastel, and they tend to be when they go further up the body, with a couple of exceptions, one being the all omnipotent eighth chakra, which is a royal, beautiful, deep purple. But yeah, just this, from the throat to the third eye to the crown tend to be the lighter, more absolutely psychically, intuitively developed energies. And my goodness, that speaks of you in a nutshell, really. And I'm so happy, Pisces, that you are in the North Node position now, and we're about to have our next series of eclipses in September, the first one on the 7th of September. Even though I'm speaking of August, it's right around the corner as we are in mid-month now, and we're already feeling energies from it, messages, necessary lessons, of course, come from all of this for our highest good. It's never anything to fear. In fact, I love just sort of surrendering and saying, okay, I trust and I know I have these desires and these dreams and these, intentions and manifestations I'd like to have happen, but I'm also always co-creating with life. And I'd like to just allow that and have the fullest faith ever. Because a lot of times spirit combined with our desires and everything is far more than we could even imagine. So I actually relish in that. But you are in the North Node position, and the first full moon lunar eclipse on September 7th will be in your sign. So there's a lot of changes that have gone on for you throughout the years, and it's not stopping, but I think you felt that, and I think it's really, really brought you to a place of strength. And I have a Pisces rising, and there's boundaries that I'm finding, and the word no is like a part of my vocabulary, which I don't ever really remember it being before. Perhaps you can relate. But mostly like your ability to sense and to feel and to have just prophetic dreams and visions. It's very, very real. It's who you are. It's who you represent. And I, for one, appreciate it so much. And I have a tinge of that, of course. My rising can be as equally as important as the sun sign, I'm told, though all of our positions in our natal chart are so important. And I always ask that everybody who watches my readings do watch their sun, moon, ascendant, Venus, and possibly, I would say, Mercury. Speaking of which, Mercury did go direct. It did. We had 4 planets total in retrograde. The outer planets were the other 3, and that happens every year for about 3 or 4 months because they take a longer time to circle around the sun. But yeah, the Mercury retrograde happens more frequently, and it's for a shorter period of time, but it's definitely felt, and it does affect our transportation, communication of all forms, and definitely technology. So I've been affected by all of that. I tend to be very much aware from the moment the shadow period starts, which is 2 weeks before the actual retrograde. And now the shadow period is ending once it went direct on the 11th of August. So we're going to be building the momentum, Pisces. And I think you're recognizing things are definitely now moving forward, like all of us. And I, for one, am extremely happy and grateful for you and for everybody because of that. But also, like I said, the influence of well, it'll be a total of 18 months. And then we'll start the new series of eclipses between North Node Aquarius and South Node Leo starting in February and then tapering off. I think there's one more set of eclipses for Pisces and Virgo next year as well. But you get the idea. You're powerful, you're wonderful, you're beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I always start my readings with a chakra check because chakras mean a lot. And we have these beautiful energy centers. I focus on the 8 specifically. There are many of them. The last one was the throat chakra for Aquarius, who resides right next to you on the natal chart of the astrology wheel. And then I do correlate the associated crystal. And we'll just see. I mean, this was my feeling when I do my meditation with you and the tuning in. But we'll see if Spirit has the same idea. And this, like I said, is, in my opinion, it was correlated with the third eye, which is right between the eyebrow. I like to tap it, kind of wake it up every day. I always ask that all of my chakras be opened, just as a little meditation that I do. And then on the back of the card that's pulled for the chakra is a beautiful mantra or saying, however you want to say it. For those that are brand new, it's an amazing reality that's happening with us. But once again, it has to do with the natural gifts of being a spirit in a human body and the energy centers that just, they create so much for us, when we can utilize them to the fullest. So for you, you have, oh my goodness, that just happened just before the other, but it's so perfect because yes, you have your third eye and everything, and it's usually very activated with you anyway, Pisces, but this is about, and I didn't say it, but I'm going to say it because you can look it up anywhere, and you know this about yourself. You are one of the most creative and, just so versatile and so talented. And that is the second chakra, the sacral. And that's where the juices flow and all of that really happens. It's known as the pleasure center. We've got the root and then they work themselves up. So right around here, it's where our sexual organs are. It's our energy. It's our vitality. It's our, sensuality. It's just flowing. And the words on the card, I will read to you, kind of just confirm that. And it is, once again, the second chakra. Effervescent creativity, sparkles from my being. My life's path is clear and founded in love, respect, and adventure. And that's all you. And it makes perfect sense. And yeah, you like to be adventurous. You are actually ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter happens to be in the sign of Cancer. And that is one of the best placements for Jupiter. It's exalted there. And as a fellow water sign, it's really going to be some, yes, transformative information, occurrences with you, but ones that almost take a lifetime sometimes. Like, for example, let's just say you're about to have a child and that's the creative thing. You're creating a child. The best, there's the laborious part of it, and it's painful sometimes, and it's not easy, and then the labor happens, and it's happened, and the masterpiece has arrived, right? And I think you've been through that laborious part, the part that's been the most difficult, to where now you're seeing your strength, and you're feeling so vindicated and so powerful, and you're getting through some of the hardest times, I think. And maybe I'm wrong, but you stay tuned and see. But I think this is a very good indication that you're going to be able to express yourself in ways you haven't for years. And you're going to have a definite sense of freedom in doing so. So, and I know a lot of Pisceans that like to be their own bosses and entrepreneurs because, that you love to get along and you wished everybody would get along. There's a great capacity of love within you that you'd like to share with others. But that's not actually how it works a lot of times. So when you're able to align with your own ideals and your time frame, because you're kind of open to a lot of things. You're a mutable sign and you're changeable, so sometimes you need rest at times that wouldn't work for a normal 9-to-5 job, okay? But it's perfect. So the correlating crystal is already on the necklace, and I like to definitely infuse the readings with the necklace and the crystal because I find that it helps me immensely. I'm always carrying a crystal of some kind. Forgive me, I'm trying to find the sacral. Here it is. And I'll read you what it says on the card as well. Creativity, pleasure, and joy are what the sacral chakra emit from us and the energies that we can, create and have within us. Carnelian is the actual crystal, and I love it. It reminds me of a jelly bean. You can kind of see through it. There's little speckles, but there are many different forms of the same crystal, I'm sure, in different ways of seeing it and formations. I share my gifts with the world with both ease and grace. I have the power to create change, and you most certainly do, Pisces. So that is the crystal I'm going to use and put on this beautiful little necklace that came with this really cool gift set that I got. It's going to be almost a year and a couple months that I've gotten that. Saying that out loud just feels so strange because for the longest time this year, I thought everything was in slow motion. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, but it's certainly sped up, didn't it? So as I wear this, I will be doing a 6-card reading for you, Pisces, for the mid-month. And it's going to be with my cat tarot deck because as we finish off the last week of Leo, in honor of Leo, the feline, lion and strength of the zodiac. I hope that it's been a fun season for you. And, it's kind of like we're winding down and then it becomes Virgo season on the 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you're located. And also we have the new moon in Virgo, and that's very, very important. And once again, with the eclipses being North Node in your sign, Pisces, and South Node in Virgo, a lot of emphasis with Virgo on, maybe releasing, obviously, things from the South Node that are just really not been working for you, that are maybe toxic, that are cluttering your mind, your space in some way. Virgos are known for, being organized and planning and structured, and so this vivacious, fiery, kind of fun energy will then kind of morph into getting things ready for the new season coming up, fall, for the last part of the year, for the new year, and also feeling more grounded because it's an earth energy, and feeling like you've reached a certain destination. There's a lot of quick energy with eclipses. Sometimes it brings things in really quickly, or it ends things, or it just depends. And the energy and message from all these eclipses can take up to 6 months or more. We've just finished the last 6 months of the previous set of Pisces and Virgo eclipses. So yeah, it's a continuum story because, in life, things don't happen overnight. Sometimes they do. But I think it's absolutely going to be a time that you'll always remember as being probably the most important in so many ways. And it doesn't matter what age you are. There's transitions that happen in all different phases of our life. So I actually had shuffled this deck. I'm just doing a couple more shuffles, and then I wanted to just explain it is for the past, present, and future positions, and then a clarification for each of those, and then finishing with a beautiful oracle message for you, Pisces. So I hope that you've had a really great and actually maybe restful. I understand from my perspective and my Pisces, I had so much going on that at one time I was doing 3 things simultaneously, and it's just me, and I was just making a ton of notes, and then there was appointments for this eye surgery that you have to do the various things that the doctors require before you can have any kind of surgery. But for some reason it was just, I almost wondered, am I going to do this? And every single thing does happen, especially when you have that heart-centered belief. When you allow the good to come in, when you stop and allow the rest to happen, it all works out exactly as it needs to. And you're on to the next thing. So for you, beautiful Pisces, the first card being the past, and that could be as recent as this morning, anything prior to this reading. Could go back even further, but I don't have any specific linear time frame. And for you, you have the Eight of Cups. Well, this has come up a couple times. It's absolutely so fitting for you, though, because the Eight of Cups is your element. It is the water. And the Eight of Cups, you're watching that water, you're cleansing yourself, you're almost mesmerized and hypnotized by it. In fact, showering and hydrating is so very important at this time, is what's coming through, and making sure that you're not feeling run down as we change seasons. And by the way, the weather has been quite different. I'm in the northern hemisphere and it's been summer, but it felt like beach weather because it'd be cloudy most of July. We're in August now, and it's been very nice. We've had a couple of hot days and stuff, but not like normal. So there's a lot of changes in the world at large with, the different weather patterns and so forth. You are moving on to and away from emotional baggage. I like to use that term. You are heading to the Nine of Cups, okay? The 8 is a very abundant number in numerology, and you thought it long and hard, and you've definitely utilized your heart, and you've asked for, guidance, which, you fully understand the guidance and the co-creative aspect of your life, and that we all have. And you're ready. You've probably already done it, but it needed to happen. And sometimes it doesn't happen overnight, but it has, and it feels great. So you're in the right direction for where you need to go. The clarification of the Eight of Cups is the Nine of oh my gosh, the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is when you're just so close to your destination. In the Rider-Waite-Smith depiction, which was my first deck, so many people use it as a reference. It shows a person who has a bandage on their head, and they've got the 9 wands, right? And the 9 is the year we're in, actually, the year of the snake. It's the culmination, the releasing, the last phase before the new cycle, which next year becomes the 1 year. You are just changing in so many ways, but ones that you had at one point actually wished for, maybe didn't think necessarily would fully come through, in ways that you didn't anticipate. Hang in there. If there's something you still need and it's not quite complete, trust me, it's on its way. You're in the right direction to move away from the things you knew weren't going to bring that for you. And now you have that fiery trust in this beautiful Leo season that has prompted you to know that you're going to get your wishes. You're going to create and manifest. You've always been good at that. Nothing's stopping you, Pisces. And those eclipses will absolutely, they can bring miraculous things. And they have time and time again. If you think back in your own life of the eclipses throughout the years, and, with the different signs and things, this one's for you. This is in your sign. It's dedicated, and it's very much about what's the best life for you. So presently, we have for you I love this, the 3 of Cups. Once again, water. So we've got 2 waters now, and the 3 of Cups is just that. It's being saturated, fulfilled, having fun, enjoying your life, enjoying laughter and good company and friendships. And, there's the green plant that's doing really well and thriving, and it's still small, though. It has so much more to grow. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people that really, just continue to support you and make you feel your best. Okay, not anybody can actually make that happen, but that comes from within, and joy is within, and all of that is within. But when you surround yourself and you release yourself from people that absolutely don't have any interest in what's going on with you or how you're feeling, this is where you need to be, okay? And so that's showing up for you in this present time, Pisces. Clarifying that is the devil. Oh my gosh, I had just gotten that with Aquarius, and I did shuffle. But have no fear, because the devil is there, and it's a major arcana. The devil represents the Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is actually very complementary to you as an earth sign, and you being a water sign. You know, water and earth are very, very, I mean, they're just completely synergetic, right? You have the earth and it's great, but without the water, you can't, the seeds that you plant will never grow, right? So they're in need of each other. All this is really saying is be careful of things that you fear. And remember that when you think in those ways, you can attract that sort of thing to you. And it is true, you know, and that, sure enough, if you're continually worrying or, you know, thinking the worst of something. And by the way, I'm just going to put it out there. As much as I love Pisces, and, you know, like I said, I had a Pisces rising. Pisces has a reputation and also for being worrying a lot, you know, taking on the weight of the world, being the martyr, if you will, being the person who just sacrifices your happiness for others. It's just a known thing. And I know I just met a new Pisces at my new job, and she's so beautiful and so kind. And you can tell she's a Pisces. In her eyes, you look at her and she's just got this beautiful, sympathetic tenderness. But yeah, make sure that you are eliminating the doubts and the fears whenever possible, as well as the company that you keep. You know, this could indicate somebody you know who has maybe some addictions, and this can represent that as well. And maybe wanting to be there and help, but there is only so much you can do. Know your limits there, know your boundaries, and your heart and love will carry and transform many things. But I really, really, I guess I'm trying to say, I want you to focus on your happiness, okay? And not to let outside influences, you know, as an empath that you can absolutely be, you take on a lot, it's gonna wear down your happiness. And I really don't want to see that for you. Just a little beautiful warning, because I love it. You know, when you have good readings and that it comes in there, it's like, we care. So just be aware on all, because, you know, that's life. It's, you know, shadow and light, and happy and sad, and up and down, and so forth. And one has to be with the other. So then we go on to your future, Pisces, and we have the Emperor. I can't even believe this. I don't remember seeing this. Well, the Emperor, and it has a cone. Well, the Emperor is such a very powerful fire. It represents Aries. Interestingly enough, the planet Neptune and Saturn that were in your sign, Pisces, well, Neptune was in your sign for 14 years, and then Saturn for 2.5. It goes, you know, it keeps going through our signs, and it's every 2.5 years. It's structure, it's restriction, right? It's showing us those boundaries. Well, that was in your sign for all those years, and it only changed this year into Aries. And maybe Aries is feeling the brunt, because Aries is about forward motion and movement and power, and just like nothing's going to stop me, right? That impulsiveness is always there. I have an Aries moon, so I'm not judging in any way, just sort of speaking from my own experience. But yeah, the restrictiveness, and the fact that actually Neptune and Saturn have been in retrograde this month in Aries, but it's going to go back and dip into your sign again, which you've already experienced, so you'll know the feeling, just as a last little, you know, hurrah, and to remind you that all the dreams and wishes and things that Neptune can bring, because it's very much about that, and about, you know, imagination and so forth, but also the rose-colored glasses, and to know the difference. And with Aries at the helm of those two planets, no, they're not daydreamers like you. They're gonna take it for real. I'm going to want this dream, and I'm going to do what I have to do to get there. And yeah, I'll take that Saturn for a couple and a half years, whatever. If it keeps me on track and I'm going to get to my destination, I'm all about it. And that's the energy that's going to come for a very long time, starting in 2026, Pisces. So just a little tip on that. But I like it. It's like there's a little bit of a restraint there, right? I mean, cats can still function, but also I have to say this too, and it's the honest truth, and I only speak the truth. My very good friend for 14 years now, she takes care of my cat. She's an amazing artist and creator. She does nails. She's just a beautiful soul. Her cat literally just got injured yesterday under the chin, and she had to go and pay a pretty decent amount for an emergency surgery. And she sent a picture today of her cat with his cone. Her cone, it's a she. Can you believe that? This coincidences, you know, very strong, influential clairvoyance and dream patterns and things are very, very strong. Thank you to you, Pisces, and you're probably fully understanding what I mean. It happens naturally, but I think it's going to be compounded. Let's see what the confirmation of that is. It's the Six of Pentacles. I love this. Oh my gosh, do I love this. Well, it's the earth energy. It grounds us. It brings us right back down. Virgo season will be very important. The new moons, both. There's going to be two, by the way. I didn't say it. There'll be the new moon this month on the 23rd, and then the second eclipse after yours, Pisces and Virgo, in September will be on the 21st. It'll be a partial new moon, so there'll be two new moons in Virgo in a row. Health, healing, you know, grounded energy, making sure that we're not too woo-woo, right? Because it can happen. We can be way up there in the cosmos and we can see and feel things that a lot of people don't, but to definitely stay grounded, and especially when you're on a roof, okay, and you're reaching for the stars. But you know all this. The Six of Pentacles is reciprocity, and it's fairness, and it's just if there was an issue with money per se. And I mean, that's another thing Pisces has been known for, is like money, it always comes. You know, that you've always known that, and it does, but it's not something you worry about generally. And you're just, it'll come. It's not, you've never really, like you would give the shirt off your back and probably your last cent. So, but this is a time when you're going to actually really be more balanced about that too, and have that security. That's always kind of important. I mean, it's an illusion when it comes to life. There's never really any limitations, or there's never any scarcity. That we bring that on ourselves. But overall, really, really, really love this beautiful reading for you for the remainder of August, prior to your very, very important and potent eclipse next month. So let me read to you your oracle message, okay, Pisces? And I want to thank you again for tuning in. And if you feel inclined, and I think you probably would, because, you know, it's not a question of not caring. It's sometimes people don't think about it. But I would love it if you could push the like button. The notification bell would let you know when I upload. It's been a little wonky that way until I get really grounded in the new schedule and such. And then also, you know, subscribing. I mean, it's such a beautiful, easy gesture that is very supportive of the channel, because that's how YouTube will continue to allow me to grow and expand. And that's really what I want to do. I mean, that is Jupiter in itself. And, you know, Pisces was ruled by Jupiter historically, and more modernly Neptune. But yeah, you've got that beautiful luck that's within you. We all do, and we all believe that we can create anything we really want to. So your last message, Pisces, is the great severing. Oh, I already got this too. Ooh, this is so important. This is once again about boundaries, and it does pertain to the devil again, but I'm going to read it because I love it. This is what is so important about the opposition of Pisces, and just having full faith and just knowing everything works out one way or another. And then the Virgo being more like, I don't know, I gotta, you know, I'm pretty critical. I'm pretty, you know, I really have to think about it a lot, and I'm overthinking sometimes as well, and very mind, you know, mercurial energy, and just actually releasing that. So it says Mars energy, which is very prevalent right now, and it's the Aries. It's Aries, the Emperor. So, you know, that's been very, even in retrograde with these planets in Aries, we still feel it. And then I might add that Mars is now in the sign of Libra, which I am. And so it's not always very comfortable there. Libra doesn't want to argue and fight. I mean, they don't, and that's the Mars energy. Is like, you know, let's have some argument about it. Like, why? You know, what's the point? But it does give energy too, so it has some positivity to it. Anger, conflict, softening to love. And that's where you come in, Pisces, because you know that. You just know that innately. So let me read to you what it says from the book and distinguishing the two. I think it's so perfect. Very, very appropriate for what's happening. And here it is. This is a shadow card, one that may feel confrontational. Don't be afraid. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. That's that devil as well. It's not, devil is not, it's an earth energy with the Capricorn, but it's about those fears and the conflicts and things of that nature. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. The warring planet of Mars is our constant reminder that it's important to soften, forgive, and find our way back to love. There are many things in the human experience that make it difficult for our heart and soul to stay open to the never-ending source of love. We're all wounded in unconscious wounds. And by the way, the wounded healer Chiron is in the sign of Aries, has been for years. It'll change in another couple years. And it's in retrograde as well. This is too perfect. And it's absolutely what's happening in the stars as we speak. Wow. Where did I leave off? Okay, it's about the wounds and fears that are causing you pain and anxiety. And secondly, for you to find your way back to love. When we're hurt, it's normal to close off our heart to the world, to let the painful experience confirm the agony of separation in early life. Soften and find your way back to love anyway. When fear, anxiety, and paranoia paralyze you, it's normal to want to hide away from others and the world. Come out of your cave and soften your heart anyway. We're all innocent children spinning our way around the world. Find a way to see the innocence in all people, especially yourself. And if anybody can and does, it's you. It says, how are you cutting yourself off from love? How can you soften towards those who have hurt you? All very, very important things for our elevation, and our evolving. And it's all right here for us. It's so, and the oracle is the most wise, of the divinations, in my opinion. It's just, they've been around forever, and they want to just console us, and they want to come to us and speak to us and have us listen. And it's sometime in the quietest little voices that they come through. But I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you have enjoyed the rest of August. I care a great deal about you, and I want you to be recognizing your worth, which is everything. And I hope to see you next month in December. Take good care. Bye for now.